Hello, everyone. Oh, look at that. I wonder if I should put it closer to the center here. This is where I'll be. Burr. No, move it back. How is everyone doing? I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Managing participants 4. Wow, look at that. Share. Main screen. How is everyone doing today? Chat. Awesome. Good to hear. Glad that you can hear me all right. So how many people are here? I guess I don't know how this works. I use Zoom, but I don't use it to this extent to have this many participants all at one time. So dun 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 dun. So for all of you that are just coming in, it'd be nice to know, obviously some of you I can see your names. Some just have, I don't even know if it's first name or if it's first and last name, but who you are, where you're from, and what do you do? I know you guys are a part of Rachel's community, which is awesome. And as a part of Rachel's community, are all of you doing social media stuff, or is there something greater than that that you guys do? Or also with social media, what else do you do? It'd be nice to know. Malaysia, 3 a.m. Well, thank you for being here. Gift branding and marketing. That's cool. Very cool. Missouri social media for a corporation. That's very cool. Awesome. Advanced. What's advanced do for me? It looks like it's going to be a lot of camera stuff on here. Let's see if I can mute, rename. Oh boy. 1 video, screen 2. More people popping in. Good to see you guys. Hello, everyone. Obviously, I'm not Rachel Pedersen. I'm David Dube. For those of you who don't know me, I teach several classes, and one of which is what we're going to be talking about today, which is how to make lifelong clients in just 30 seconds. Super excited to bring that to you, to share with you that content and that information. So everyone that's here is going to get a whole lot of awesome information. Got to make sure I get the right screen for what I want to present to you guys. So main screen, share. So are you guys seeing my desktop right here and me? I don't know how this works, to be honest with you. So presuming that it's working in the right place, you will see now a gray screen. Is that what you guys see?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. All right, good. And as you can tell, I did not update the slide to say 2018. Please forgive me. I also don't know if that part's recording. I got to do myself. I will record this as well. What time do we have here? So give a couple more minutes for several more people to start filtering in. For those of you who just joined, it'd be nice to know your name if it doesn't say it, where you live, and also what it is that you do exactly. Yeah, it's going to be some awesome value bombs. I rest assured. You guys still see me on the screen too? It's a good thing I know, right? Like, I participated in plenty of these, but I don't use Zoom as my, okay, good deal. I don't use Zoom as my primary webinar software, so I'm not necessarily used to how it all works. So today, what we are covering for all of you that are here is lifelong clients in just 30 seconds. And I'm not sure exactly what was shared per Rachel and her team with you guys, but this is the ability to influence others by knowing who they are. And this is one of the biggest, most nearest and dearest topics to my heart. I started my company back in 2004 and created this course and started presenting it in 2005. And at that time, I started off charging companies just $500 to have me speak, and it was only an hour-and-a-half course. And since then, it's grown to over 7 hours of content, interactive content. And even from there, this can extend into 3 to 4 days worth of content. And this is like part one of multitude parts that I talk about and I share. And for 1 day experience with the content you're getting today, I charge companies now $5,000 to hear. So for just 1 day. And I've broken it down into the most valued content I possibly could for you guys. So you get literally all the like hard punching, awesome valued content I possibly could give you. So is that all right with you guys that I did that? It should probably be a question I ask instead of a statement I make, yes? And don't mind me, I have coffee, and I still do cold coffee even during the winters. So that's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I also should provide you a disclaimer, and the disclaimer is this. The information that I'm going to be providing you is absolutely massive for what it can do with your communications to individuals, whether it's a personal communication, a business communication, or even an online communication with someone. It could be used in very malicious ways, and that's not the way I intend it, and that's not the way I teach it. And so I want from you guys to agree that the information you're going to receive today, you will not use in a malicious way at all. And it's very easy to do, actually, to use this in ways to take advantage of people and to get them to do what you want them to do. And that's not my intention. So if you would, please respond in the comments that your intention is non-malice. You could just say, I agree. So if you could do that, that would be great. I'd appreciate that. Good, we're getting some agrees here. Awesome, very nice. So now some of you already posted what you do for work, and I understand most of you do and work in social media. For those of you who do see it, it's awesome if you did post that while we are going here. And another thing too is, if I can get back to this, is questions to consider. Now, once again, I don't know, oh nice. I don't know what all of you do and what all, oh, let's see here. There we go. Got that taken care of. All right. So questions to consider. I want to know, what do you want out of this training? I know you don't have a lot of information, but I would like to know what you want out of this training. And the fact that I know that most of you deal in the social media space, I will help you take the information I'm going to disseminate to you today and give you, and show and share with you on how to best use it, especially if you do client work, what you can do to literally help you transform what you do with your clients, and also how you communicate to your clients specifically, but also how you can actually increase and help them increase the returns on their investments when it comes to working with you. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool, Victoria. That's awesome to hear. Lifelong clients get life. So, and I love that. And I'm going to get to a very awesome piece here in a moment, where I'm going to share with you 2 testimonials. These are old testimonials, but they're super powerful, impactful to how I feel this can transform people's lives and how it can be used. Oh, did I just do that? What happened there? Do you guys see the scribbles on here? I have no idea how that happened. That's weird. Anyway, what to consider. Why is it so important to know who you're talking to? Why do you think that's so important to know who you're talking to? That's really what we're. Does anyone know how to get rid of that? I have no idea how that happened. Anyway, it's a good thing. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Look at that. Someone helped. Perfect. Why is it so important to know who you're talking to? Because in essence, what we're doing is we're dissecting the likeness of individuals through this content. Next is, what does knowing who they are do for you and for them? And this is going to be huge as we go further and deeper into the content that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So what are we covering today? We're going to be covering who this guy is, because most of you, I feel, don't know who David Dube is, don't know who I am. So I believe that's probably fairly important to this. We're going to cover the circle of life. This to me is probably one of the #1 most important things that anyone should ever know. We're going to cover the 4 stages learning curve, reverse engineer people, and then talk about implementation. So the outcome here is really to stand on your own 2 feet and to know others on a much different and deeper level than you currently do. And when you know this information, it can profoundly transform the way you interact with anyone. That's awesome, Deborah. So pay close attention. If you haven't taken out a notebook yet, if you don't have one by you, make sure you grab one, take notes on this. The ability to write with your hand, with a pen onto paper, is going to help you retain the information much more than even watching this 3 times would. And when you revisit notes that you took by hand, your ability to remember and recall that information, it goes up by leaps and bounds. I think it's like 73%, something like that. So here's one of the things. Here's a testimonial I got. This is back in, I believe, 2006. This is from a gentleman by the name of Lee Gilbertson. And Lee wrote me, this was, at the time I was teaching this to local real estate companies, and he worked with Edina Realty. And he says, your course altered my business big time. It's been several months now, and that's all it took for me to nearly triple my sales. Being able to connect with people on their level has literally changed the game for me. I seriously was skeptical at first, but I figured, what the heck, I paid enough to take it. I might as well try it out. And holy crap, it works. I'm not sure how to thank you. Lunch on me, let me know. And since receiving this email and working with Lee, he and I have become really good friends over the course of many years. And I feel that as we go into this, this will start to cement itself. Here's another one, and I covered up the company he works for, but this one here is probably the one that's most near and dear to me. This was the first one that I got that was like a personal testimony to the transformation that my course has given to someone. It says, David, I wanted to write you and tell you how you have effectively changed my life, my family's life forever. When you came in to teach your course to our company, my family and I were going through a very tough time. My wife and I were struggling in many ways. Our daughter had just turned 13, and with that came lots of changes. She now wanted to go out and do things a 13-year-old shouldn't be doing, and because of that, my wife and I had to become way more strict. Yet, it wasn't stopping her, and it was destroying my wife and me. We were losing our daughter, and because of that, my relationship with my wife was also deteriorating. We were seriously on the brink of calling it quits. Of course, that's until you showed up and shared your course with us. The tools you taught us were remarkably simple and incredibly effective. Right after your class, I rushed home and shared some of what you taught us to my wife. We implemented it right away. I'm so proud and happy to tell you we are family again. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Peter Allen. This is the type of information that warms my heart and makes me so happy that I'm able to do what I do and to share this information. It's not just what it can do on your business side. This is what it can do on your personal side. it's absolutely remarkably effective. So, and I just want you to truly know and understand that. How many of you guys are kind of excited to hear what's about to come next, knowing that information? It'd be nice to know anyway. All right, good to hear. I don't know if you guys have Caribou coffee where you're at. I usually really like Caribou, but I don't know what's wrong with this one. Just not as good as their normal dish. All right, so who is David Dube? That's me. I've been in this game since 2004 is when I incorporated my company. In 2005, I started teaching this class. But even before that, I was born and raised in Minnesota, similar to Rachel Pedersen. And it's nice to be in the same state as someone so amazing that you already know, and so close to many other amazing people. Here being in the center of the United States, it's not very difficult to get to other people and to some of the clients that I have and some of the friends and family I have through doing this. It's been pretty awesome. I skipped a slide that I had in here that actually showed some of the companies I've worked for or worked with. But I think you guys will get the power of this as we go anyway. So I was born and raised here. I'm in a family of 3 kids. I have a sister, Sarah, she's the oldest, and I have a brother, Michael, and then it's myself. And in school, the thing that I was most focused on was art. I loved art. Art was my thing. And here's a self-portrait I drew when I was in high school. I once had hair, and now, as you see, it's fallen to my chin, but at one time I almost looked like an ape. And then because of that, I got into photography and other art and started, really expanding what I did and how I did things. And so this is just some of the artwork that I've done over the years. The illustrations, I actually haven't drawn much in a really long time. I do way more photography now than I do anything else. But it's still a huge passion of mine anyway. And I probably could have updated these, but they're still nice photos, I think. You're at Caribou right now. There you go. So this is one of this person right here is my sister. She's the oldest in my family, and she's blind and autistic. Her name's Sarah. And Sarah is and has been a driving force in my life for a very, very, very long time. And my brother explained her as as an angel, and that's kind of what my sister is. She really is an angel. She's the most pure person I've ever come to know in my entire life. She's innocent. She's always herself. She doesn't try to be something she's not. She's just perfect in every way. Yesterday was her holiday party, and every year after her holiday party, I pick her up and we go out and we have drinks. And so we were out last night having drinks and having a really, really good time. And it was awesome. Our father joined us and we really enjoyed ourselves. But something recently has taken place and has brought greater meaning to what I do. I apologize for breaking up. This is a photo of my aunt, my uncle, and my brother. This was taken on October 20th. And it was the last photo of my brother. Oh boy, didn't think I'd get this emotional over it. He passed away not too long ago. Actually that night he passed away, and we were celebrating his birthday 30 days in advance, just with family in town from out of country. And my brother is a true inspiration to me. And it's crazy because he was so humble. You would never know who he was. You would never know that he won many, many awards. I have to change the photo. I apologize. My brother had won, he works for this company called SDG. And every year for the last 3 years, he had won this award, which is their leadership award. And it's absolutely incredible. And his best friend did not know he had won these awards. I did not know he won these awards. Our father didn't know. No one in our family knew he won these leadership awards at all. And it's crazy. So my brother, we found him on Monday because I was worried about him, and I went to his house to check on him and found him. I called my father and had him meet us there, or meet me there. And he was found deceased, obviously. And we found these and was like, that's cool. Didn't know what these were at all. And that Thursday, because I called his work and they knew obviously he didn't show up to work, and they called me on Thursday to tell me that he was actually not only nominated to win this award for a fourth year, but he actually had won the award for that fourth year. So he won the award for this year as well. And it's crazy because no one knew. My brother was so humble. He never let anyone know. So anyway, I digress from it, but my brother is also a huge inspiration to me and to the things that I do. So I appreciate all that. Oh boy. So what you're looking at now is my book that I co-authored called HD Mindset with my friend Anthony Verderami. And it's really about getting out of your own way, unlocking the keys to who you are so you can achieve the results you truly desire in your life. So, wow. I really had no idea that was going to be that overwhelming for me to talk about, but I appreciate everything from all of you. So this to me is everything. This is a quote that I've said since I wrote this in one of my art journals in 1999. People get things, but they seldom understand them. And this is so huge. How many of you have relationships with people that have fallen apart? How many of you have ever had a relationship with someone fall apart? I know I have. And it's crazy to think, why that happened. And when you look back, you might wonder, why did that happen? Or you think, or you point blame and say, well, they're too pig-headish, or they don't want to understand, or we make excuses for. We make reasons to be okay with the way things turned out. You know what I'm talking about? We make reasons for the way things turn out all the time, don't we? And that's not a bad thing because we want to make closure. Otherwise, we feel we can't get over something. So along with that, talking about relationships, because that's innately what this whole thing is about, is about relationships. And that's what my whole life is about. It's always been about relationships, not the quantity, but the quality of relationships I have. But this idea that people get things, but they seldom understand them. How many of you here have this thing right here called a smartphone? How many of you have one of these things? These things are pretty amazing because of what they can do. This is literally like the power of God in our hands, and we all have them. We all use them. But here's the thing. If your phone were to break, if this were to break, and it wasn't a dead battery, and it wasn't a broken screen, and it wasn't liquid damage, how many of you could actually fix your phone? How many of you could fix your phone? You're watching it on your phone. Awesome. How many of you could fix your phone? Yes? No? Not me? Nope. No way? Exactly. So here's the thing. You have a phone. You have this wonderful, amazing, powerful tool in your hand, and yet, you don't know what makes your phone up in order to fix your phone. So back to relationships. You have relationships. And actually let's talk about the human body. You have a human body, don't you? Let me ask you this question. How many systems make up the human body? How many systems make up your human body? Do you know? I love this question. How many systems make up the human body? Yeah, it's right. It's sad to say you have no idea. a few, multiple. There's, okay, so Deborah, you're getting closer at 10. 11 major, you might want to add at least one, if not couple. So science dictates that there's 12 systems that make up the human body. And yet most people don't know what those systems are. Not only do they not know what the systems are, they don't understand the systems. There's only one system in your entire body that your body can actually function without. What system do you, pray tell, that be? Anyone? I would love to know what system that is that you think. And it's crazy. So we get things, we have this amazing body, this thing that enables us to interact with other people and to create relationships, but yet so few of us understand this thing. So few of us understand who we are. Few of us understand even the technology that we have in our hands. It's unreal to me that all this is possible, that we can just exist in this world and still not know anything about who we are or those that we interact with. We know people to what they present us, and it's crazy. There's so much more to it. So to answer the one question that I asked about what is it that, what one system of the human body that we can live without, we can live without our reproductive system. That's the only one. Without bones. Yes, without bones. You can live without bones. Probably not. But yeah, so it's crazy to think that. But do we want to? That's true. We don't. Exactly. So how many are you with me? We get things, but we seldom understand them. You guys with me on this? Isn't it crazy? It's really crazy to think that way, but it's so true, isn't it? That's how we live our lives. So relationship. When was the last time you actually looked at the word relationship and figured out what it meant? Anyone? Anyone? So relationship, is back again. That's interesting, right? Back again, always revisiting. Relate, person related by blood or marriage. This is circa 1500, okay? Relation, connection or correspondence to, right? So the communication that we keep coming back to with someone. And then finally, ship, quality or condition. The quality or condition of that correspondence, that communication between you and another that you continually come back to. Relationship, so vitally important. And how many of you knew that? That to me is crazy. And it's amazing all the same time. So you've heard this before. Finish this statement. Treat everyone how you would. Treat everyone how you would. Finish that statement for me, will you? Want to be treated. Right? Want to be treated, like to be treated. Right? That's how a vast majority of the population is going to answer this very simple question, right? Or that finish this. But it's not the truth. This is false. This is absolutely a false statement, and it can't be further from the truth. Treat everyone how they would like to be treated. Treat them how they want to be treated. Let me ask you this question. When was the last time you treated your significant other exactly like your mother or father? And okay, so you may have treated them like that, like for a minute or two, but not when you want to go be intimate with them. That's going to be the last and furthest thing from your mind. It's going to be your parents, isn't it? So you treat them how they want to be treated. You treat your best friend differently, and you'll say things to your best friend you wouldn't say to your mother most of the time. You guys agree to that? Now, it's crazy to me that we don't realize this. And in some cases, we do, and we do this without thought of it. Because you treat your child, right, differently than you treat your significant other, differently than you treat your grandmother or grandfather. You treat them separately. Why? Because a child, you don't say the same things to your child as you would your mother, probably. Not to say you wouldn't, and it depends on their age, but if you think about it, a child, especially who's like 12, isn't going to necessarily get the same things you're going to be telling to your mother, your father, or even a work or business partner. So you want to treat people how they want to be treated. This is the granular level of truth that we need to get to and that more people need to truly understand. And that's why this stuff to me is so exciting, because once you understand this stuff, once you get this stuff, and you can bring your relationships to a whole new level by truly comprehending exactly what it is I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. How many of you guys are really excited now hearing this stuff? Like, what could he really be teaching me? What could he really be sharing with me? Like, this is the stuff that just, it literally boggles my mind that fewer people or more people don't really realize and understand this stuff. This makes everything to me. This literally is everything to me. So awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. So I want to talk about this thing I call the circle of life. The circle of life, this is so powerful to grasp and to understand. Now, before I tell you, I go through this, I want to ask you, and I want you to share in the comments, who or what is the most important thing in your life? I want to know who or what is the most important thing in your life. I want you to put that into the comments. Your son, that's awesome. My son, awesome. My babies, yeah, yes. So true, right? My husband and kids, awesome. Kids and husbands, sons, awesome, awesome. I'm going to drink something a little bit different. So some good answers here. Your family, great. All right, so circle of life. I would normally tell people to imagine a circle broken down to 3 quadrants, but thankfully we have a presentation and I don't have to tell you to do that. So in the circle of life, there are obviously 3 quadrants. The first quadrant is that of something we all share. Now, before I dive in here, the reason I asked you this question is going to come up at the last portion of the circle of life here. All right, so what is it that we all have access to no matter where we are around the globe? We all have this one thing in common. What is this one thing? So no matter where we land in the world, we all have this in common. Anyone know? I'll give you a hint. If you can't, so it's probably better. So if I show it like this, what is that? Right? What is this right here? It says there's a month on it, right? It said, this one said November, here's December, right? What is it? Calendar. There it is. So Victoria got it. It's time, right? We all have this in common, right? No matter where we go around the world, we all have 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. Can we agree to that? Is that fair? We can agree that that's what we have in common? Exactly. So time. Now, the second portion of the circle is the next part that comes with time. So we each have time in common, but it's what with time that makes us different. What with time makes us different? Anyone know? There it is. So yeah, Ashley, what you do with it, Victoria, Ashley, how it's spent. Yes, it's our choices. It's what we do with our time that makes our lives different. This is where we get granular now. Now, the last portion of this is by far the most important portion of this circle of life. And this is where you put the most important thing or person in your life. You put them right here. And you all answered the question, at least I hope you answered the question, but you all got it wrong. And I'm going to explain why. Because it's you. You are the most important thing in the world. You are. Absolutely, unequivocally you. You are the most important thing in the world. And I want to explain why. So most of us, we live our lives externally from who we are as individuals. We wake up, we have a task list of things that we have to do with our time, and we go through those things. And because of that, our lives are literally, we see and feel everything externally from us and who we are. But the truth of the matter is that no matter if you answered, it's your son, it's your daughter, it's your family, it's your husband, it's your brother, sister, it doesn't matter. Even if you said the answer was God is the most important thing. The reason why you're the most important thing is because without you, none of those things would exist. Without you, there is no God. Without you, there is no family. Without you, those things that you love and hold dearest to you do not exist without you being here first to perceive their existence. You are by far the most important and most powerful thing in this world or universe and multiverse. This is why it is so important you understand this, is because without you, nothing literally exists. Nothing. You can't perceive anything. You can't have anything. You can't do anything if you're not first here to be a part of it. Does this make sense to you guys? You getting this? To me, this is where the precipice of life begins, right here. Without you, nothing exists. This is where being grateful for all that you have begins, because you understand this. Because you can be blessed that all these things are around you and can touch your life and you can touch theirs. So now I want to talk about the 4 stages of learning. How many of you guys have heard of the 4 stages of learning? How many of you guys heard of this thing called the 4 stages of learning? I'm really blown out in this light, aren't I? I'm going to fix it. I sit Indian style in my chair all the time. Let's see if I can not be so blown out on camera. I don't think that helped much at all. Oh, well. My camera's, it will probably ring the bell when you say it. Okay. All right, good deal. So 4 stages. 4 stages of learning. This is so valuable as well. And as we go through, you'll begin to understand why. So we have what's called unconscious incompetence. What this means is you don't know what you do not know. And I'll make this make a whole lot more sense as we go through this. So unconscious incompetence. Next is conscious incompetence. You know that you do not know, okay? That's the 2nd stage. This 3rd stage is conscious competent. You know that you know, okay? And then there's the final stage, which is unconscious competent, meaning you know so well you just do. Now, let me share a story with you that's going to make this make so much more sense to you. So unconscious incompetent. When I was 12, 13 years old, and I wanted to go somewhere, all I would do was go, Mom, Dad, can you drive me to my friend's place? If they said no, I either walked there, I jogged there, I biked there, or I swam there. We lived on a lake. And so, right, I just got there. If they said no, I would find another means of transportation to get there. But then my brother turned 15. How many of you guys get where I'm going here? My brother turned 15. He got his permit, and so he needed to learn to drive. And so I'd say, hey, Mom, Dad, can I go to my friends? And they'd say, I guess Michael needs to learn to drive. So they would get in the car and I would be driven there. See, when I was 13 going on 14, I realized I will be driving soon. So I went from not even thinking about it, wasn't even in my sphere or realm of consciousness, to, aha, I went from unconscious incompetent to conscious incompetent. I knew I'd be driving, I still didn't know how to drive, right? Is this making sense? I'm going to learn soon, but I don't know how to. And then I turned 15, I get into driver's training, and now I'm sitting behind the wheel for the first time next to my dad. And I said, Dad, why don't people drive with both feet in an automatic car? Of course, I asked this. My dad said, well, I don't try. And we both learned very quickly that I should never do that unless I'm driving a manual car. So that was a terrible mistake on both of our parts. Thankfully, we all survived. But the idea is this: I was sitting behind the car. I'm conscious about what I'm doing, and I'm competent about it to the extent that I know what I'm doing because I've been taught. Is this starting to make sense to you guys? And then now, how many of you driven for years already, right? So you've been driving for so many years, you're consciously or unconsciously competent about it. And let me ask this question. How many of you are the best drivers on the road when you're driving? Just say best driver. If you're the best driver on the road when you're on the road, just say best driver, because rest assured, I'm the best driver when I'm driving as well. Everyone else sucks, especially here in Minnesota. There's a first snowfall, and holy crap, no one knows how to get around in their cars, right? Yeah, exactly. You're the best driver, and everyone's just like, what are they doing on the road? And it's infuriating. And you're so good at it, you could probably eat, put on your makeup, and you even make dinner for your family while driving because you've been doing it for so long. Maybe even take a nap and drive, right? You're that good. So, I mean, right? You guys get this now? So unconscious incompetent, you don't know what you don't know. Conscious incompetent, you know that you do not know. Conscious competent, you know that you know. And finally, unconscious competent, you know so well you just do. So another good idea or good way of thinking about this is, how many of you have ever gone to the bathroom in the middle of the night, woke up and thought to yourself, did I go to the bathroom last night? And you don't, it's one of those things like, well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but you don't have to think about it. Your body just does what it does, right? So you've done that. No, but, no one uses indicators. Oh, that would piss me off, something fierce. All right, so we are progressing quite rapidly here. So the next thing is basics of personality profiles. So there are 4 main personality types, and these aren't anybody's personality types. These are my personality types. These are the ones that I've come up with, and all the research and all the stuff that I've done over the course of years. This is what I've come up with. And mind you, it's a hybrid and amalgamation of so many personality types out there. And how many of you have heard of Myers-Briggs before, and maybe even taken Myers-Briggs? Anyone? Myers-Briggs? Yes, no? Yeah, that would be scary. No signals for sure. So I have a question to ask you. So for those of you who know Myers-Briggs, how many of you, A, can tell me what you are in your Myers-Briggs personality type, but B, when you meet someone, tell me what they are based on their personality type. This is the problem with most Myers-Briggs, is especially most people who dive into Myers-Briggs, is they can't go out and tell you what someone else is, their personality style, based on the megalith that is Myers-Briggs. Right. You can tell what you are, but not necessarily what other people are. I want to make a personality typing that was so stupid simple that literally if you can't leave this course, this master class, and begin to tell people their personality types, then I've done you a disservice. If I can't get that across to you, if I can't share that information with you, then I've really done you a disservice. So that's really what this is about. I want to make sure that you totally fundamentally understand this. And I hope you're taking notes. So please, if you don't have a notebook and you're not taking notes, do so. So there's 4: the heart, the body, the mind, and the soul. These are the 4 personality types. So we're going to talk about the strengths of each, then we're going to talk about the weaknesses of each, then we're going to talk about the appearances of each. And don't judge me when I bring up the photos, but you will judge other people when I bring up the photos of their personality type. So let's get into it, shall we? The strengths. They're a natural leader. They're decision makers. They're problem solvers. They're goal-oriented. They're time effective, always on time. They're focused, results-oriented, money-motivated, innovators, always well-kept, and a high sense of self-worth. And so this is an amalgamation of the top strengths of this personality type. And as we go further and I go into each of them, I want you to understand that not every single person you meet is one of these. Some people are an amalgamation of several of them. And some of them are, one may be just barely stronger than the other, but they might be complete opposites too. So we'll may be able to get into that later as we go through this, but I've already gone through 40 minutes of time here, and there's so much more of this content to go. So body, the strengths, they're very optimistic, outgoing. They are a people person. They're enthusiastic, a team player. They're risk takers. Love to be the center of attention. They're personable, persuasive, creative, social butterflies, and they seek change. And that's huge. So, and as I go through these, you might be thinking of people like right off the top of your head, like, oh, that's so-and-so. That's my brother. That's my sister. That's my aunt. That's my best friend. That's my best friend's sister, whatever. And that's the cool part about going through this stuff. This mind, their strengths, system-oriented, process-driven, very accurate, highly intuitive, self-disciplined, faithful and dedicated. They're punctual. They are time-conscious, great planners, problem solvers, persistent, and extremely economical. Extremely economical. So my brother was this personality type, like to a T. And one of his friends, one of his coworkers, she shared a story about how my brother Michael would talk about how he was thinking about buying something, but he would put hours and even days and weeks of research into the research of it before he decided to make a purchase. And she laughed because she's like, and it was like stuff that it didn't cost that much money that you shouldn't put that much research into it. Like, I thought that was hysterical. I was like, yeah, that's totally my brother. Yeah, I totally see it. So the soul, they're the counselors, they're relationship driven, team oriented, very imaginative, a relator, traditionalist, action oriented, light stability. They're very dependable, supportive individuals, questioning of outside authorities, and very intuitive individuals. So these are the strengths of the soul. And I love the use of these types, the heart, the body, the mind, and the soul. To me, they resonate more than, like, I don't know if you guys know, I can't remember the name of it. The book is like personality types, and it's like sanguine, melancholy, choleric. You guys might know that, and how some of those are similarly related. And the history behind personality types is absolutely fascinating to me. And I could talk at hours and hours and hours of length into that too, but I digress. I won't do that because we don't have enough time. How many of you guys are getting some good stuff here? So your dominant one may be then the body, and your secondary may be the soul. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are really enjoying this stuff. So let's talk about the weaknesses. So weakness of the heart, very egotistical, so egotistical. They fear being taken advantage of. They're rude and impatient, short-tempered, blunt and pushy, extremely overbearing. They're not a team player by any question of anyone ever. Narrow-minded, control freak, offensive, demanding, and a workaholic. So, and you might be thinking, holy cow, that's a lot of like bad stuff for one person. You have traits in all four. And certainly, so that's most of us do, but and most of us are all of these, right? But we're smaller portions of others. We have domineering ones and ones that aren't so domineering. So when we get through all of this, and normally what I would do in my integrated workshop is everyone would take a test, and in that test you would have like a diamond that would tell you how much of each of these you are in comparison to the others. And it's super interesting. It's a lot of fun to take, but obviously we don't have the time for that. So let's talk about the body. Body weakness, starry-eyed, afraid of hurting others, party clown, or party animal, or, the clown of the party, right? Very flippant. They'll switch sides constantly, forgetful, always late, very impractical, super impractical, needs approval, disorganized, opinionated, needs instruction, and needs people. So that is the body. Let's get on to the mind and their weakness. They must be right. My brother was so guilty of always being right. Nothing made my brother happier than being right. Avoids mistakes. suspicious, a fanatic, low tolerance of criticism, reactionary, my brother. Some great stories about him. If we have a little brother who's 17, his name's Alex, and 2 years ago, my little brother was, so he'd been 15. We were out at the family farm in Canada, and my little brother, the mosquitoes get out in dusk, and both my brothers jump in my car, and we're about to leave. Actually, this was just last summer. And my little brother had a beer in his hand. My brother turns around and just tears him a new one. Like, get out of here with that. It's crazy. It was so funny. Anyway, reactionary, very reactionary, slow with decisions, low pressure, unreasonable, undemanding of others, quiet and too serious. See, undemanding of others and low pressure. Like my brother, he never let anyone know he won these awards. It was so crazy. Such a humble person too. You'll find that more so in the mind and the soul personalities. The soul lacks individual initiative, needs guidance, opposes change, clings to the old, possessive, indecisive, disorganized, often late, lacks structure, no pressure, no risk, and needs people. So now we're going to take a look at some photos, and I want you to tell me what you think or who you think, where they land within these personality types that we just talked about. So this one here, you may know who that is. If you don't, it's Warren Buffett. Where do you think Warren lands as far as these 4 personality types are concerned? What do you think? Here, I'll bring up the others. So we have Oprah. Then we have everyone's favorite, least favorite individual, Donald Trump. And then finally, we have Kim Kardashian. So, all right. So for the first one, Warren Buffett, people are saying heart. Terrell got that on mind for Warren. Oprah body, Oprah soul. So now we're changing answers here, which is perfectly fine. So here we go. Warren Buffett, he's the mind personality. Oprah, she's the soul personality. Trump, he's the heart personality. And then finally, Kim Kardashian is the body personality. So let's go into the appearance of each, okay? This also may help to begin to clarify some of what it is that we're seeing here, or what we're hearing, or both. So the heart, the appearance, they are sharp dressers, solid colors. They're tidy and clean, right? Clean cut for a man. Gold or platinum jewelry, faced watch, nice car, dresses for occasion, right? Takes care of personal property. They're clean shaven for men. Small briefcase, small purse for women. And organized, their home is organized, their car is organized, their office is organized. So this gives you like a broad overview of the type of person, appearance-wise, of the heart. So now let's go to the body. All right. Nice dresser. Dresses to be noticed, bright colors, dolled up, well-groomed, silver or platinum jewelry. They accessorize everything. How many of you know people who you hear them coming from a mile away because they have to have like 12 shiny bracelets on, or right, they're wearing the most fashionable heels ever that are super not for the particular weather that they're in. That's going to be the body. They don't wear watches. They have tattoos, piercings. They're very trendy, a large purse, messy home, car, and office, okay? Let's go to the mind. The mind, practical dresser, clean and tidy, little to no jewelry. Like if they wear jewelry, it's typically like just their wedding ring, nothing else. They'll have a digital watch. They have glasses, earthy tones as far as like colors are concerned. Everything has its place. Oops. All right, there it is. Everything has its place, right? The home and the office, everything just has its place. Like if you were to go into their home and you moved one book from the shelf and you put it on a different shelf, they would call you like a week later, you know, even a year later when they noticed finally, where is that book? And because everything has a place. And you being there can disorganize it very easily. Soul, natural look, unshaven for men, long hair for men, earthy tones, handmade or gifted jewelry, no watch, tattoos, piercings, large bag, large purse, and disorganized home, office, and car. I feel that you can exclude yourself out of body and heart. So this is so interesting. So the differences between the body and the soul. Let's talk about that for a moment. So if you were to ask a body person why they got a specific tattoo, not saying that all of them are this way, but the ones that are like they're the tip of the spear of that one, you could say, they're like so much body as far as their personality type, they're going to be like, oh, I got it because it looks good. There may be no rhyme or reason for the way like they chose something. You're like, okay, sure. Their piercings on them, like if they have piercings on their face, they're like the shiny, glittery ones. They want you to notice them. And whereas the soul, as far as like their appearance with tattoos, they're going to give you like like a serious reason. Like this reminds me of or like this symbolizes my mom or my grandmother, or this is like a coat of arms for our family, or whatever. There will be deep meaning attached to what it is that they're doing. The soul as well, when they get piercings, they would be the ones that got like the bullnose or the gauged earring piercings. They would have the very non-PG piercings going on, more so than the body as far as piercings are concerned. So it's very interesting how this works. Those, men who have dreads or women who have dreads, they're going to be a soul. The men who have like even facial hair that's just unkept, that's just like everywhere, they're going to be the soul. Okay. Like if you think of that specific group, I just go to a brewery, you will see a bunch of, this group of people. You call them hipsters, so, and not to say that all hipsters land right here, but I'm just saying, like, if you just thought of one, that's kind of where I'd put them. So more mind category. I know exactly if someone touches my stuff. There you go. I like it. All right. So does this stuff make sense to you guys? Is this ringing true for some of you guys who are starting to understand this stuff? And it might make more sense as we go into the photos here. So awesome. I'm glad to hear that this is really good stuff for you. All right. So who knows who this is? Who knows who this is here? This is Paris Hilton. There it is. It's your own organized chaos. Trust me, I'm with you on that one. Organized chaos is, I think, a lot of us live in organized chaos. Paris Hilton, where do you think she lands on this? Next, we have Ellen DeGeneres. And you may know this ex-con, Martha Stewart. And then finally, we have Mother Teresa. So 4 individuals here. Paris Hilton, what is she? What is, okay, so Paris's body for sure. Absolutely. There's no question about it. Bright colors, wants to be noticed. She gets dolled up. Look at that. Nope. Ellen is not. Ellen is not the soul. You're bad at this. So what did Mother Teresa do with her life? What did Mother Teresa do with her life? Anyone know what Mother Teresa did with her life? So if you think about it, she served always. So as someone who would be more, think of why you go into service. You're following your what, right? You're following, and you could say your heart, but that's not right, because we know heart is not, if we went with heart being money motivation, soul being what? So she's soul, right? She did it because she literally lived her life to help everyone else. She gave everything up, right? A mind, they don't want to be wrong, right? She gave everything up. Ellen is the mind. So what does that leave Martha Stewart? Martha Stewart went to prison because of what? Right, Martha Stewart went to prison because of money. So Martha Stewart is the heart. So we got Paris is the body, Ellen is the mind, Martha's the heart, and Mother Teresa is the soul. There you go. There you go. Now it makes more sense. Okay, good. And you might say, well, someone's following their heart, right? Because when we find what our purpose is, we're following our heart, is what a lot of people think, but not necessarily. Martha, Trump, heart. You got, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like this. They're like this. All right, I have more. Now, the next one are examples of individuals, okay? Examples of individuals in movies they acted. So this is the person, so it's not the actor we're talking about, it's the person they're portraying that we're talking about, okay? So everyone knows who this is, yes? Who is this? Who is this? All right, so we got that one. Yeah, it's Wolf on Wall Street. So Wolf on Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, and the heart, right? Money motivated, egotistical, right? All about money. Totally heart, absolutely. So who knows who this is? And who's seen this show? So this is from Breaking Bad. If you haven't seen it, the guy's name is Walter White in the show. His name is Walter White in the show, who is Bryan Cranston in real life. And he plays okay, so Lindsay, you got it right. Ashley, the second part was right. You're right, or shows. The caveat, movies or shows. Okay, so you caught me. All right, so he plays a chemist in there, and a chemist works with what? They work with science, and science is of what, right? It's of the mind. So definitely a mind individual. And everyone knows this, yes? Who is this? This is Ryan Reynolds is who it is, but he's playing who? Van Wilder, right? He's playing Van Wilder. And Van Wilder is kind of known as, there you go, like mind or body. No, the secondary one. So Lindsay, you're right, the body. Wants attention, loves attention, dresses for attention, as you can see, just by that image right there, dresses for attention. And then finally, that leaves this. So who knows who this is? And it's crazy to think that that's Matthew McConaughey right there. Isn't that crazy to think that's Matthew McConaughey right there? And the movie, anyone know what movie this is from? So that's Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, not a good look. Yeah, totally not a good look for him. Matthew McConaughey. And anyone know what movie this is from? So he's playing Ron Woodruff, and he's diagnosed in the movie with HIV, and he goes to finding that the best way to help people with HIV is to take natural supplements, and that's what he does, and starts selling those. For whatever reason, I can't think of that movie, the name of the movie, Dallas Buyers Club. That's what it is. So if you haven't seen Dallas Buyers Club, it's worth seeing. It's an awesome movie. It really, really, really is a good movie and worth seeing. Absolutely. So that, my friends, is the overview of personality types. Mind you, we're at an hour here. How long do these normally go? How long does Rachel let these things go for? Anyone know? And how much time are you willing to spend for forever? Oh Lord, forever? I don't know about that one. So getting to this, understanding contrast. So usually an hour, but we can be with you as long as you want. Okay. So are you guys finding this stuff to be useful? Yes, and helpful? And I'll help you make more sense of it as we go. This is mind-blowing. Awesome. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm glad to hear it. Understanding contrast. So you have what's called, Myers-Briggs broken up into 16 different segments. So it's 4, 8, 6, right? 1632. For whatever reason, it escapes me. But anyway, each of these is broken into 4, 8, 12, 16 segments within Myers-Briggs. And here's where things become a little bit different when you understand the contrast of these personality types. So yes, red is heart, yellow is soul, blue is body, and then green is mind. And here's how this works. So mind and heart are task oriented. If you say do this, they go do it. That's their thing. They'll just do it. They'll get it done. They'll accomplish it for you. Now, on the opposite side of this, you have body and soul. And body and soul, they're people oriented. And what they want to do is they want to surround themselves with other people. They want to surround themselves with other, they work best in teams on the other side. So task oriented, those two, the heart and the mind, they can work on their own by themselves for days at a time. And it wouldn't matter. They would still get it done. They would accomplish it. People-oriented people, on the other hand, so the body and the soul, they get distracted easily. How many of you get distracted easily? So you sit down and maybe you concentrate for 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and then you have to get up and walk around. How many of you are that kind of person? How many of you are that? You're guilty of that? Yep. Okay, so if that's you, you're probably more on this side. So one of your dominant traits is you're going to be either a body or soul personality type. You do power hours. So one of the things that I teach and I talk about is picking up a kitchen timer, setting 90 minutes on it. So let's just say you're one of those that has to do power hours. Try 90 minutes instead of just an hour. And do it in timed segments where you turn your phone off altogether, or you take off, the vibrate, put it on silent, put it face down. If you have an iPhone that does that light thing, either turn the light off or cover your phone or put it away for 90 minutes and just focus. And it can transform productivity like no one's business. So yeah, so if you think your hours where it's at for you, do 90 minutes. You get so much more accomplished in 90 minutes. Anyway, let's go back to this. So now we compare the heart and the body. Those two types are aggressive. They're aggressive individuals, okay? And so they're the ones who aren't afraid. They're not shy. They won't be passive to things. If someone says, go do this, they usually are like, all right, and they'll just go do it. They won't put two thoughts to it, and it'll get done. Whereas the other side, they're more passive. They're more passive when it comes to dealing and working with things or individuals or whatever. So if you're a soul person or a mind person, you might keep to yourself more, and then eventually you'll start to, come out and interact with other people, but it might take a lot longer for those two individuals than it would the heart and the body. How many of you guys love this stuff? How many of you think this is going to be helpful to you in your business right now? I have several things here. Implementation. Me, definitely. Awesome. So good to hear. I'm so glad to hear that. The biggest thing I can tell you to do and to share with you is to take notes. Take notes on people. Take notes on everyone. Go buy small notebooks. I recommend notebooks. I normally have, I got right here. notebook right here. One of these, right? These are small. They can fit in your purse. They're, where did this come from? Anyway, so I opened to a page that I've never read what was on that page before. Someone else wrote it in my book here, from someone who I knew when I was 3 years old. That's crazy. Anyway, let's see if I have anything in here. Killer influence. No, that's not it. But taking notes on people, writing down their name, their first name, last name, if you get it. You know, when I meet someone, I want to know them. I want to have a connection. I want to get to know exactly who they are, what they do, why they do what they do. And if they don't know why they do what they do, I want to help them find what they do and why they do. Yeah, I have books after books. Here's 2 books here that I have, and I have a whole slew of books up there. I got like these journals. These are stuff. I'll show you some of the other ones I have. Stay up there. So like this right here. Here's one of mine. This is from, when is this one from? Not sure what date this is from, but inside I have, you know, notes on things, random things, stuff, ideas, and whatever. And this book is, it even has drawings in it. Look at that. That's how old this is. It has a drawing in it. That's crazy. I'm sure it has more than that. Yeah, it has a lot more drawings in it. But yeah, these books I've used I take notes on everything. And I have, literally, this is jammed full of them. So I take notes on everything. I take notes on people. I used to do it a whole lot more, but I'm good at this stuff. Like I've done this since 2004. This has been like my passion, is knowing people, understanding people, being able to break down barriers with people so you can communicate with them literally effectively and get them to buy into your ideas, your personas, your thoughts. And so you don't have to, it's not an uphill fight to get people to agree with you, to want to work with you, and all those things. And there's so much more to this. This breaks down way, way, way further than the detail I can actually even give you right here. So much so that I literally, I wish I could give you so much more. Use a cheat sheet. And I actually have cards, and let me see if, let's see here. So I created these cards, and these cards talk about, you know, this is the body card, right? Can you guys see this, by the way? I don't know if I only had it on the one thing or another, but so this is like one of the cheat sheets I've created, and get them printed on like business card stock, similar. So like here's, you know, my business card where either side has this. And so this is the front side, and then this is the back side where, you know, so here's the appearance, the weakness, the strength, and then here's the big, you know, overview of what that personality is. And they move from thinking, or they move from doing to feeling. And that's the way that this personality moves. And this stuff can be extremely powerful, obviously. And so, yeah, I love this stuff so much. What it can do for you. And this is just one portion, mind you. There's so much more to this. The second portion of this, I really wish I could give it all to you guys. And I did create another cheat sheet, and here's just kind of, so you could use this right here, take a screenshot of this or write this down, or you will get the show notes, and you'll be able to once again go through this and hopefully use this stuff to help you with relating to the types of people that you're relating to. So when you're working with a client, this is invaluable information to know and to use and to utilize. And once again, this is like one portion of the whole. There's so much more. Like, I really wish I had, I could give you guys more of this information. So has this been useful to you guys? Has this been something you feel that you can use and utilize in your business and in your daily life? And how I see this working out is when you're dealing with a client and you're dealing with the client's clients, right? How many of you, so if you're doing social media, which most of you guys said you do, you have to figure out the persona of your client's client, right? You guys you have to do that, don't you? You have to, right? So your client's client. And in doing so, if you can help them narrow down their perfect customer, their perfect client, you are going to relate to them specifically on the levels that I just shared with you. You are literally going to share, you're going to go deep dive into the specific level, right? Are they aggressive? Are they passive? Are they people? Are they task oriented, right? And then you're going to figure out, you know, you may have their appearance down. You might not have to relate to their appearance at all, right? So much quicker. You know, going back here, let's go to, so like, are they a soul personality, right? So you can use this information to totally open up the can that is their specific client and talk into these things. You know, are you sick of being or feeling lost, right? So they're a soul person. Are you sick of feeling lost? Do you hate the fact that everyone wants you to change, right? So now you're speaking into the specifics that make that person go, holy cow, they're talking to me. Is this making sense, you guys? Like, and this is that, you know, that's using the soul. You know, here we go to the mind. Do you hate making mistakes? Oh, I hate making mistakes, right? Do you hate it when people are always telling you what to do and how to do it, even though you know your job? So these are the things that make me go, this is why this stuff is needed so much more. So yes, it's my hope that that's what this stuff is going to enable you guys to do. Let's see. So now I don't know how to burp. Nope. Burp. How do I go? Do anyone know how to get me back spotlight video? I don't know. Let's try that. No, I don't even know how to get me back into the stop video. No. How do I not share the screen and just share me? Anyone know? Does anyone? I should probably start using Zoom a whole lot more so I can figure this out.
Down at the bottom of the screen, I see a button that says share, and down there is probably where you should see stop sharing.
I see stop share. You see it at the bottom of the screen. Maybe I have too much open on my screen here. Oh, stop share. Hey, look, there it is. Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks for the help. Now my camera seems to be out of focus. Oh, well. Exit full screen. No, we're good. All right, so camera focus. Yes, no, maybe, possibly. Oh, well. So once again, it is my hope that this content was something that you guys will be able to use in your business. And you know, like I said, I broke this down into the smallest portion I possibly could with the most impact. And it's the one that you need to know first before we go anywhere else. The next portion of this goes down to communication styles, communication types, and relating to people on communication levels. So we'll have to get back to Rachel to talk about doing more with this if this is something you guys are interested in. So with that being said, I appreciate each and every single one of you being here. If you aren't connected with me already and you want to, if you want to, please, you know, feel free to connect with me on Facebook. And as well, if this stuff has helped you and you're able to effectively put it to use, I would appreciate, you posting that on my Facebook wall, on my professional Facebook wall, whatever. That would be a huge appreciation to me if you were to do that. So once again, I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for being here. And I think that's pretty much it. So from there, my friends, now this is going to open and it's going to start playing my audio in just a second. That's the wonderful part about this. Oh, hey, didn't play. Thank you. So interested, very interested and thankful. Yes. Thank you for saying so. I appreciate you guys so very much. Speaker view. Hey, look, there I am. And it's still blurry. This is just ridiculous. What's going on, camera? All right. That being said, I'm going to stop the recording. And once again, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate each and every single one of you. And also reach out to Rachel. Tell her how good or bad this was and what your thoughts are of this whole thing. So thanks, guys. Dun-dun-dun.